Throw me a
and
beat.
you can do
Throw me a
anything.
beat, son. Oh boy, keep it going. Hey, look, this is the Lux podcast right now. Mish on the beat, Tengu on this track. I can't do it.
Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the LuxeCast. This episode, we're going to be talking about Mishmash, KOD, and the person behind the character, the King of Darkness. Hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, we really would appreciate it if you smash the like on the video and left some constructive criticism in the comments so that we can make this a better experience. Thank you. Hope you enjoy it.
Start already.
This is Mitch coming out of his closet. He's very bisexual.
It's funny because I'm in a closet.
Wow.
So for Mish, for the viewers that don't know you at home, please give us an introduction about yourself.
Well, clearly I'm Mishmash, KOD. KOD stands for King of Darkness because everyone asks that question constantly.
Amen.
What does it stand for? COD? No, I'm not that stupid. But I got the
Debatable.
name from back whenever I was in school on the baseball team, and I hit my first Grand Slam, and they said my name was Mishmash. So I just took that alias and converted it over into my online alias, and that's what I've been known ever since.
Where did you come up with the? Sorry.
No,
Keep
no,
going.
I was gonna say I was born in May of 1993. It was a great time. I'm an old man. I'm a boomer. I'm sorry, guys.
How could you?
Where did
You
you
have
come up with the entire idea with the King of Darkness?
That's funny. These are all my questions. All my questions. All my questions.
Pretty much, basically all of my life experiences that I've been through. So pretty much all my terrible times because life ain't easy, my guys. Life is not easy. So I pretty much just came up with it on the fly and was like, kind of like the ring to it. So I just underscore KOD, threw it in the name.
Interesting.
Obviously,
Yes.
you play games on Twitch, right? But
Obviously.
what got you into playing games? What was it?
Well, early on in my childhood, very, very, very early on, like 4 or 5 years old, my grandparents had obviously the Atari, the NES, the SNES, all the old consoles. And I started playing what I can remember was my first game I ever played was Contra on the NES. And ever since then, I was just addicted to playing games. I wanted to beat them. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be better than my brother. And that kind of started my evolution into video games.
I think my first ever game was the
Excellent.
Prince of Persia.
Prince
Not
of
the
Persia.
not the first version or the third person one. One of those like flat 2D ones. Anyone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
The
that
old
was,
school.
Yeah, that was definitely my
I
first
actually
game.
don't know what my first video game was. I know the first game I really played was when I went over to my cousin's house and I played Halo 3. So I'm a bit late when it came to the video games, but besides that, or maybe it was Halo 2. But I remember the first console I ever owned was the GameCube, and I played Luigi's Mansion, but I was too scared to play it because lights went out at one point.
I love
The
that
game was so good. I want to speedrun it since I still have it. But besides that, it was Luigi's Mansion and the Cars racing video game. So Contra's definitely a little bit more badass than anything that I got to play when I was a kid.
Yeah, my mom and my stepdad bought me the GameCube whenever it first came out for the holiday season. Like as soon as it came out, I got it like right then and there. And of course, Luigi's Mansion was like Luigi's Mansion, Minority Report, and like some other stupid game. It was like Twisted Metal, but WWE. It made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was called. I can't remember, but I just remember Minority Report and Luigi's Mansion. And those games were crazy. I loved Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi Mansion was a classic, but
The
mine was
third one,
definitely
I
Donkey
heard it
Kong.
was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I never played the second one. I think that'd be interesting to play.
It's on the Switch. If you guys like have a Switch, you can always play it on stream or something.
I want to Switch so
Hashtag
bad.
free melee.
I want to
Hashtag
Switch
I have a
so
PC
bad.
now.
Free
That's all I
melee.
have.
Yeah,
I sold all my consoles.
I want to sell my console. That seems like a good move.
Mm-hmm.
I have all of mine still. My N64 and all my games, my PS2, my PS1, my PS3,
Well,
my
I
Xbox,
mean, I don't.
my Xbox 360, my Xbox One. I have everything still.
I sold all the current and previous gen consoles. I still have like my Nintendo 64, my Super Nintendo, NES, Atari.
Right.
I still have all these old school ones because, strangely enough, those are all inflating in price because now they're retro and people want that stuff. And I
Mhm.
have probably like 150 NES games. It's wild.
Not even that, the simplicity of the older games just makes it so much better. You don't have
Right.
to worry about how great graphics are. You just have to worry about how great a game plays. And the controls were mostly easy enough to learn that like
Mario
anyone can play and
64.
have fun. And 64, the controller was a little odd, but that was about it.
But I'm meaning Mario 64.
Oh, Mario 64. Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Gilbert Gottfried had a hog?
Who?
What do you?
Gilbert Gottfried.
No clue. Cue the
I
Snoop
mean-
Dogg.
What
Who?
do you mean? How don't you know who? How do you know the Affleck guy before he got canceled?
Who?
You can't.
My inner goddess.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, that's
the
that
guy
is
from The
it right
Princess
there.
Bride. Come on, you don't know who
Yep.
Gilbert Godfrey is?
You gotta
I'm,
know
I'm,
who
I'm,
that
okay,
is.
okay. Let me put it this way. I suck with names, so if I look them up, there's a good chance I'll know.
Dude,
All right, I'm gonna look them up
Okay,
right now.
listen.
Have you ever
No,
seen
like-
Aladdin? It's like the movie of like. Never mind.
I just
were
don't
you about
even
to explain
understand.
Aladdin?
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm about to-
okay. I think I know this,
I know
dude.
where this is going.
Cut. Cut.
I know where
Cut.
this was going.
I think I do too. Just cut.
Yeah, we're not parlaying that one anymore.
Oh my god.
Great movie. What?
But yes, I
This is a
looked them
great
up,
podcast.
and I'm still clueless.
All right, well, forget it. But why would you even ask that question again? Like, why
Yeah.
you ask questions, QLyee? Why do you
Because
always...
this shit is so boring. You guys gotta be fun. This has gotta be entertaining as something.
Just gotta get something. Yeah.
Always
Listen,
the
if I'm
random dude
if
that just
I'm
pops
able
in.
to tone it down, you can too.
You're talking about a podcast that's gonna be open to 12-year-olds. You really think they're gonna give a shit about your first game?
The way he put that one, all I'm saying is he has a point.
We should just keep
It
this in.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Just
gonna
keep
keep
it
it
rolling.
on. Man. I mean, no, I'm cutting out the fucking racist joke that nearly was.
It wasn't Aladdin.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't racist.
Okay, buddy.
Aladdin.
It wasn't racist.
It nearly was. Like I said,
It
No.
nearly was,
yes.
but it didn't have that intention. I
I'm-
stopped because okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
the
we're
re-
cutting.
But
We're
Gilbert
cutting.
Gottfried was in Aladdin. Like that's
Yeah.
why he said it.
That's what
No,
I'm
I
trying to
get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
No.
But the near
This is
explanation of
so
it
damn
was about
funny.
to be massively racist, and I'm cutting it.
You know what the best part
How
is?
was it
There's going to be an outtakes channel most likely, or just an outtakes.
With just
of movies.
racist jokes all over.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're fucked.
That's how you know
So
it's funny.
we're still just rolling with
Yeah.
it, right?
Alright, so-
Totally. Totally.
And we're back.
And we're back.
You do not want to know what you missed. Like we're no
Be sure to check the extras channel to see exactly what you missed.
Yeah. But, hey,
extras.
if you guys do want to see the stuff that we do take out, there's a let us know in the comments, subscribe and turn on the notifications, and let us know each video for the next 3 videos, and we'll probably do it.
So
No, we
back
will
on track.
tickle
Mish,
all the
What
children.
got you? What got you to start streaming?
Pretty much when I got on Justin TV, because I'm an oldie, right?
Mm.
So I was back on Justin, and the first person I ran into was obviously Summit 1G, and
Track that Fortnite.
I just loved his platform, his format, and the way he was, and just chill and stuff like that. But I couldn't do it at the time because I didn't have the specs like of a PC to do so. So I was like, whatever, I'll just watch Summit. So I was watching Summit and got a PC that was able to stream at least, but 30 frames cap. That's terrible. So I was like, I can't do this yet. So got a second PC and upgraded both of them so that they had great specs, and decided to do a dual stream. And that was, shoot, man, that was a long time ago. But that's
So-
pretty much inevitably started me, was just watching Summit play and seeing the chat rolling and having that interaction with them.
Seems like
So
you
at
and
what point did
Shroud
you
are the same.
realize that? What point did you realize that you should quit video games because you're bad at them and just start streaming?
Really? Really?
All right. For the people at home, Mish has one permission. He has a free card to allow to flex his trophies on this podcast at any given point in time.
But just the
Yeah,
one.
well, they're upstairs, so I'm not going upstairs to pull them out of the case. But
That
You
was
know
the
where
cutest
you
thing
can
I've
see
ever
him
happened.
very soon on Mish's stream after he gets those fucking shelves set up.
you're right. I will
Yeah.
get this shelf set up, and there's gonna be lights back here and stuff, and you're not gonna see any of this stuff back here. But yeah, that's pretty much that was pretty much it. That's what got me into streaming. I just wanted to give it a try and see where it could go. Like, see if I could have fun doing it, and obviously I do. So that's why I do it.
So it's
Do you
not.
still
So
run
it's,
to PC setup?
Yes.
You do. Nice.
so it's not because
What
of your
PC?
failed competitive CS:GO career.
It's not failed. I mean, I've won.
Uh-huh.
I'm happy with my accomplishments. 3 trophies. I'm
Right.
happy.
So you're not
It's
gunning
like a
for
hit
more.
piece or something.
Yeah, a
But
little
do you
bit.
know what actually got me into PC gaming is the question.
Ooh,
That is a good question.
do tell.
It is.
He asked himself.
So that was like somewhere around 1999, 2000, back in them days.
I was
To
born
start
Me too.
whenever the world was gonna end. Y2K, baby, end of the world. So that rolls around. My stepfather ended up buying what the hell were those old computers? It was either like a Gateway or something wacky like that. I can't remember.
A DOS?
But
No, it was before, right?
yeah, it was a Windows. It was a Windows PC. Like Windows 98, I think was on it. Was the OS that was on it.
Mhm.
That was whenever Valve dropped the original Half-Life.
Oh
I
yeah.
played that game whenever I was like, what, 9 years old, 8 years old, and instantly just fell in love with the fluidity, like the movements, like how it was first person. Used obviously back then I was using a ball mouse, which was ridiculous to even think of, right? So whenever you're playing for like a few hours and it gets all dirty and clogged up, you have to like take the ball out, clean it off, take the dirt off, and then put the ball back in, turn it so you can play again without jacking up. Well, I got into that, beat that game before my stepfather even beat it, and he was just like, "What the hell? Like, how did you even do this?" And I was like, "I don't know. There's nothing like the rush of hunting people down and killing them." Good old FPS Doug. But that's pretty much what got me into it. And then CS came out as a mod. I never played it as a mod because obviously I had dial-up. So it took ages to even try to think about downloading it, and my parents wouldn't let me. So I was like, whatever. Well, they released the platinum pack of Half-Life, which had Half-Life, Game of the Year, Opposing Force, Blue Shift, Team Fortress, and Counter Strike when it became 1.6, and they released it out on the actual CD. So I got that, popped it in, got on servers, and started playing, and that right there is what fueled my competitiveness in any video game at all. Was the CS days, CS 1.6. It was probably the greatest experience of my life.
1.6 is definitely a flashback, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
That
That was my
I have
first
to come
CS
full
game.
disclosure with this. I have never played Half-Life in my life.
I mean,
Leave.
technically I
Just
haven't played
leave, bro.
Half-Life, but I have played 1.6. And like I didn't necessarily have an entirely legal version of 1.6. So
We do not condone
Cut it,
any
cut it, cut
type
it.
of pirating.
I did
sail the
not
seas
say
here.
that. I did not say I had anything. I'm just saying potentially I may not have had an entirely. Anyway, my
He's incriminating
1.6
himself.
did. Yeah, my 1.6 came with Half-Life in it, and I just never played. Never played
Hey,
it.
Tingo, you said you never played Half-Life?
Never.
You see this
I can't-
arrow?
Do you even
See
No.
this arrow?
It points
Oh,
to
yeah.
the way out. Get the
Right
fuck
here.
out.
Points out.
Oh,
Out the door.
gotcha.
Go.
Okay.
Go. You
No.
can
I mean-
play
You
all
never
of them
played
on
Half-Life
stream.
2? You never even
see-
played Half-Life 2?
No, I never played Half-Life 1,
Oh
2.
my god,
Alex.
dude! I can't believe it, man. Those were the revolutionary games. Like Quake came out, and that's how Source made their engine, was they pulled stuff from the Quake engine and stuff like dude, it was just the most refined game of all time back in the day. And
Yeah.
then when Half-Life 2 came out, it it evolved the gaming atmosphere, and everything just had to be better than Half-Life 2 at that time too, because it just did it. Whatever Valve does, granted, it takes them 20 years to push out a game, but when they finally push it out, it's almost perfection. It's the closest thing you could get to perfection.
There was a
Besides
single.
your face.
There was a
I
single what?
appreciate that.
It's a fat cap. There was a single player Counter-Strike.
Whoa!
Wow.
There was a single player Counter-Strike game called Condition Zero. I
And it
think.
was trash. That was actually trash.
Yeah, I know, but I think apart from 1.6, that was like the one I remember the most, sinking so many hours into. Like, cause it would be me at my friend's house, and we just take turns and keep running it over and over and over and over. We just keep running it back to back. And then that got me into Counter-Strike, and then I saw the first promo for CS:GO, and I saw the circular buy wheel, and I went, "What the hell? This is innovation." I was like 7 years old and fascinated with a circular buy wheel. I was like, "Wow."
This
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, I was like,
The
"Shit,
game
this
I
is
played on
It's a
PC first was
circle.
freaking Maple Story, man. That was my shit.
damn. I've never played Maple
I
Story.
remember being in like, I can't remember if it was elementary or middle school, playing RuneScape in the computer lab, like with
RuneScape,
all my
dude.
homies, dude, like like OG old school RuneScape, like when it looked like Dookie and the tutorial island was like completely different than it was like when it got
Mhm.
updated. That was crazy. I
Yeah,
remember
but
that too.
Do you remember when PvP was added to RuneScape?
Yeah, I do.
That stuff was insane. Nobody wanted to go out to the forest. Nobody.
Wild. Nobody was
Mhm.
going.
Mish, I
Have
got
you
a
guys-
completely unrelated question.
Uh-huh.
Were you a skateboard kid or a scooter kid?
But you clearly would already look at me. What am I?
Scooter
Scooter
kid.
kid.
Yeah, clearly I'm a scooter kid. Yeah, get out of
Yep.
here now.
I bet you busted your ankles on some
Yeah,
rip sticks,
he
dude.
loved him a
Kidding me?
scooter ramp. I'll tell you
I
that
busted
much.
my shins on a what do they call that? Where you flip the bottom of the scooter around, the razor scooter. I don't even know what that
Yeah.
is, but I've busted a few shins up. Yeah, no, I've almost killed myself a few times on my skateboard doing crazy stuff though. Took it down like those big steel slides because I was like, yeah, look, watch me, I'm gonna do this, and then almost die and
Faceplant, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I went down this big ass hill by my house. Like I could still take a picture of this hill because it still exists this day. Because the house I live in right now is still the house that I grew up in, right? But it's mine now. I took my skateboard on top of this hill, and my buddy was with me, and he's like, "You won't do it, no balls." And I was like, "Check this out." Put it down.
Shoot.
They just repaved the road too, so it was like super smooth.
Oh no.
And I'm flying down. Like, dude, this hill is steep. I got to the point where I started to get the death wobble because you're going so fast and the
no.
velocity is like making
Yeah.
the board wobble. So I get lower to prevent it, and I'm like crouched at this point. Well, where they refinished the road and it continued the old road, there was a divot
Oh
in the road,
no.
and my front trucks hit that, and I just Supermaned, and it was still a decline at the time, so I was going forward while the road was still going down,
Oh
and
boy.
my mom bought me a brand new Aeropostale coat that was probably like $100 and some, and I
And
was
you were
wearing it.
wearing it. Oh
Oh
no.
And that's when you turn it to handsome Squidward.
And I went flying through the air. I landed on my left arm and like prevented my head from hitting the ground because, of course, who wears pads and helmet, right?
Did you
Who
pop?
wears that?
Did you
Because you're
pop
a
your
kid.
shoulder?
Well, what happened was I landed and I was like, boom, and I smashed my head off my shoulder and bicep area, bruised that whole entire side. But when I hit the road, it scraped from my
Ah.
forearm to the back of like my tricep and just ripped a massive hole in the coat that she just bought me the day before. Just the day before. I
That
went
sucks.
home. I went home and I just like tried to hide it. Nah, you ain't hiding nothing from that woman. She came looking at me. She's like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "Do you really want to know?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, I went down the hill on my skateboard, and this is the result of that." And she just looks at me and shakes her head, and she goes, "I hope you know your dumbass is not getting a new one." And I was like, "Okay." So I just wore this tattered Aeropostale coat to school
Ugh.
every day.
I mean, at least
because
you had
she
a.
made me.
At least, at the very least, you had a cool story. God damn.
Mhm.
Absolute savage, dude.
Massive hole. The only thing that was covering my skin from the outside of the coat was just the thin liner on the inside. Like all the cotton and like the filling was just tore out of the left sleeve.
And for those of you that don't know, Mish actually held this grudge for so many years that she never bought him a new one. That he bought the house from her, and now she's in a retirement home.
Yeah, she has
That
to.
is- that
She
is a
has to.
lie.
He moved her out. He moved her
That
out.
is such a lie. You're such a liar. That is not true.
Man's making big bucks now, so he had to buy the
He's
house.
making
to
all
bring
the
under.
V bucks. He cranked too many 90s.
So
All
he
the
did.
90s.
Really interesting story that is part of my childhood too. That how I replaced the coat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I was like 14, 15 at the time. I was like one of the youngest kids in my grade because I
Mhm.
started earlier than her because I was born in May. So everybody's older than me. So everybody else had their driver's license and I couldn't get them because I was too young. So me and my friends get together and we decide to go 35, 40 minutes away from where I live to a mall, right? And while we're in the mall, we get this idea. We get this idea that we're going to replace my coat for an extremely hefty discount, right? So we go to Dunham's, and for people that don't know what Dunham's is, it's like a sports store where you can buy like skiing gear, snowboarding gear, baseball, paintball guns, so on and so forth. Anything like that's related in that atmosphere.
Great story. Great story.
Well, we went into this discount store first, and my one friend stole a pair of like pliers and gave them to me, and I was like, dude, what the hell are we doing? He's like, we're gonna get you a coat. And I was like, all right. So at this point in time, you're with your friends, because you're a young kid, peer pressure starts setting in, right? So you're like, shit. All right. So we go into Dunham's, and this is the first time I ever did anything like this, right? So I'm like, my heart's beating, you're like, blood's flowing. It's like you get like this addiction type feeling, like this high almost. So I walk in there, and funny enough, this girl that we knew was working as the cashier, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is ridiculous!" And I'm wearing like this tore up Aeropostale coat that just looks like hell. We walk into the store. Dudes are like my friends. There's like four of us, five including me, walking around the store. I find this coat that has like 3 tags on it, right? And I'm like, "Oh my god, how am I gonna do this?" I forget to take it out. I look around, make sure there's no cameras around. I take the pliers, and I just snip, snip, snip. Off came this thing. So I took my coat off, put that coat on, put my tattered piece of shit on, and my buddy walked up and bought like snow gear for snowboarding. And my one friend had no idea what we were doing at this point. No idea. I walk right up right beside him as he's cashing out, and I'm talking to the chick that we knew, and I was just like, yeah, hey, what's up? What's going on? Da, 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 da. Is this all you guys needed? Yeah, this is all we needed. Dude just walked right out of the store. Needless to say, this coat was like $275 because it was a snowboarding coat.
Oh my god.
God, dude.
Do you still have the coat?
Yeah, I still have it.
Damn.
Bro, they definitely knew. They're just like, all right, this guy's just a kid. Like, come on.
That's a
had no
profit.
idea.
That's a profit, though.
No idea. And then that made me spiral out of control because whenever you do something like that, you become like I was this person that they like looked at for. It was like, hey, if you want something, you go to him. You go to
Dude,
him
that's
until you get it.
sickening. Yeah, I had that too.
Yeah.
And I was like this patsy of trying to get people stuff, and it was crazy. It was crazy. And I'm not saying I didn't do it because I did, because again, you have all that peer pressure. So that is to the extent of things that are illegal that I did. Never really did anything else ever.
I have like
I
a
stole
fairly.
things from a store.
I have
and
a
that was the
fairly similar.
That was the only like extent. But if you rack up the amount of stuff that happened over the years, I don't even know the amount of things that we took and just never got caught. Never.
Yeah, my entire setup is the exact same way. Like this, I just walked out of there with that. This keyboard, mouse, camera, everything.
Just went to
Yeah, shut
Walmart
up.
and had a field
I
day.
stole my entire setup.
Stole
Here's
my
the thing, though.
parents.
I
Stole my
definitely
pen.
don't recommend anybody doing that because shoplifting can get you into so much trouble.
Oh
So
yeah.
much trouble.
Oh
So
yeah.
much trouble.
Oh yeah.
Definitely don't recommend anybody doing it because I just happen to be one of those few lucky people that never got caught doing it because A, we were smart. B, we developed a plan and somehow that plan always worked. We never deviated from our plan because nothing out of the ordinary occurred.
Speaking of
So
shoplifting,
you don't have
getting
any
in
other
trouble.
And now the internet knows.
Yeah, it's like speaking of shoplifting, getting in trouble. Like, I have a fairly similar story. So, because I am from where I am, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm from India, but I study in Canada. Um, but when I was growing up, there was this one. You all know what icebreakers are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, as in India, they're worth 150 bucks. Well, I think now they're close to worth like 300. I think they've doubled over the years, but back in the day, 150 bucks. And as a kid, you did not have 150 bucks, which is like
Damn.
$3, $2 and change. So, me and this one friend, he lived right next to this fairly small supermarket, and we'd hop in, and they had one specific aisle, which was the candy aisle. They didn't have fucking cameras in it. And it was weird. They had one camera facing one direction, and me and my friend did like an entire like bank heist fucking setup where just like this camera sees this camera sees this. We're like, there's a blind spot. We're gonna like abuse that blind spot. So my buddy would, I would be the cover, right? So I just cover while my buddy picks him out, puts him in my pocket, and we just walk right out because it's fucking candy. It's not gonna be tagged. Like the sensors aren't gonna go off for fucking candy. And I was like,
Jesus, you guys
there's
are pulling some GTA heist for candy.
yeah, and I was like, this is like grade 3, grade maybe fucking 6. I don't know. Like it was
Oh my
so
God.
so early, and I was such a kid. And like we went to school, and we started selling them in lunch break. We'd sell them for like $100 a pop. We're making a profit here,
Oh
buddy.
my God.
Like I had that business brain, baby, and like we just started selling for like $100 a pop, and then like people knew if you want to get icebreaker for cheaper, you come to us, and then we had a pressure to keep up supply because everyone's just like, yo, can I get 3 at lunch break? And we're just like, fuck me, I don't have 3. What do I do? We have to go back again. And then I think the store manager just got fucking suspicious that he lost 150 units of his supply, and he's not turning like that much money into profit. And like so the next day we got there, so stupid because we knew in our head we had to get 6. We didn't notice that they installed a new fucking camera, and we
Oh.
straight up just got caught. Like straight up got caught. He like pulled us into his office, and I'm like, we're both so young, like we're just kids, dude. And he's fucking like yelling us about like, you need to like learn. You're so young, like how are you making these kind of mistakes? I mean, he's a nice guy. Like he didn't like call the cops or anything. He called my dad though. My dad whooped my ass after. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever done something as stupid as that.
If
Got
my
caught.
mother ever found out, I would have had my ass whooped of the amount of stuff that I got. And you know how I always covered it? This is my cover story because my mom would see me with this newer stuff, right? I told her that my best friend gave it to me because he got new. And that is literally my cover story until I finally came clean to her because once I became an adult, I turned a leaf, like a new leaf, and I became a new person because I already knew like what I was doing was wrong. But as a kid, you don't really think about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you you become an adult and you're just like, wow, dude, I
I
was
was
shitty
so
for doing that.
stupid. Yeah, it was so
It's
stupid.
so dumb and so shitty. And I stole so many things. Do you know like those Russian Ushanka hats that kind of like have
Yeah.
fur on the top and stuff like that? Well, American Eagle was selling stuff like that too. And my one buddy, strangely of all places, we went on a field trip and he was like, Mish, I want one of those hats. I was like, yeah. I was like, what are you gonna get me, dude? $20? He's like, yeah, $20. I walk in there, dude. I had a hoodie on. I just took it off the shelf, put it in my pocket, and just turned around and walked out because it was so busy. I just I just bounced, and that's literally how it was. One time I wanted Chick-fil-A so bad, and we were at the mall. And here's the thing: I had my mom, it wasn't that I was poor. It wasn't that I didn't have anything, because my mom provided for me and my brother like as great for as much as she had to do. Like she did as much as she could, and she did more than enough. But my dumbass didn't work at the time, so B, I didn't have no money, and C, I wanted things. So I was like, "Oh man, I'm hungry. I want Chick-fil-A." He's like, "All right, I'll buy Chick-fil-A." I was like, "All right, I'll go in here in this store, this music store, and I'll get you these earbuds." Earbuds, there were Sony earbuds. They were like $98 at the time. I walked up there, took my little blade, because I had, like razor blade that you put inside like those box cutters. I had
Mhm.
one of
Yeah.
those in my pocket. I just pulled that out of my wallet and just slipped the package, just opened it and just tucked it in and just left the store.
Mish
Jesus.
better have my money.
And I was like, "Here you
Chill.
go. Here's your payment," and gave it back to him. And it just spiraled down from there, because it wasn't just like one person, two people going to a store. It was like five of us going into a store, so that we had enough people to distract them, like the employees, so we didn't get caught. And we also became smart enough to research on the internet, like which places most likely have fake cams installed, and they're not legit. They look legit.
Mhm.
Wow.
Jesus.
Can't tell you, dude. We did so much scandalous shit back then, and it was the craziest thing ever. We also took paintball guns one time.
Oh God.
How?
Yeah,
We
don't they
broke
like lock those up?
No, they weren't at the time. At least
Oh my
at the
God.
store where I was at. We just broke it. We got an M4 one. We just broke it down into bits and pieces and each carried a part out.
Holy shit.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, they
You wanna?
literally ridiculous. And this is whenever I was like 14, 15 years old, dude. Like, what was I thinking? What was that? What that is completely crazy to like think that that is something that people could do and just get away with. Like, it actually blows my mind. Like these, like it kind of puts things into perspective for me too, because like these crime rings, they go out and just like jack shit and just like sell it out on the market. So dudes just like selling T-shirts in Boston or New York City. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's stolen. Like, when it's like, here, $5 for an expensive ass T-shirt. Like, it's
Mhm.
either fake or stolen. Like, it for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And
there's
it's
something
just
wrong
so,
with it. Like there's something
yeah,
wrong with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that just shows and proves to me that the system can easily be beaten, and it's scary how easy the system can be beaten, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not worth the risk. There's not
Yeah.
It's the risk versus reward is not there, because there's literally technically no reward, because it's terrible to do in the first place.
I mean, you really
We should probably
transferred
preface
over as like an
again.
elite.
People
Yeah.
at home, don't steal.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
don't steal.
please don't. We were
Yeah,
very
like
stupid.
like
We
like
were
on the
very
opposite
stupid.
on the opposite side of the spectrum. Like 2 days ago, I found out one of my coworkers just got fired because they got caught stealing. Like, don't steal. It's not worth
Yeah.
it in the end. Like, you could get like, okay, paintball gun's pretty cool, but like losing a job and having that on your record's also not cool either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
like,
see,
still
that's
do you still have the paintball gun?
no, it was gifted to one of my friends.
Gi-
uh
It was a birthday
Gifted.
gift.
Gifting applies that you have to buy something. You just gave it to him.
But see, what's so crazy is every time I was employed somewhere or worked somewhere, and after I turned 18, never have I ever stolen anything. It was only in
Mm.
my juvenile phase in school that I did.
yeah, it's cuz it's a
Never
mistake.
did it again.
And it's a mistake, and like we have used them as learning curves, and we know better now because we've made that mistake, and it's better off you don't have to make the mistake in the first place. Let us make the mistakes for you. Just
I've done
don't
it a few times at other jobs. Definitely not Lowe's though.
be us.
You want to know something what's even crazier about that, though, is that
Mm.
because I do that, and the field that I went into to work in, when they literally say it takes one to know one, dude, let me tell you, like that experience helped me see things from a different perspective. And now I know, like, I knew what to look for, like if I ever had like a case like that or had a call go to something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was enlightened because I did it. I'm not saying that it was a good thing that I did it, but I guess it kind of benefited me in my occupation, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You
That's
use your
one
experience
positive
as a
way of
result.
looking at it. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Man, I'm on the opposite spectrum of you guys. I never really stole anything. I was more of like a druggy kid.
Oh,
I see-
okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
No.
I did try weed like twice in my life, and it's just
Wasn't for you.
not for me.
Yeah.
I like
It's
I
not
like
meant for everybody.
alcohol. I like alcohol.
Let's also preface this too. Kids, don't do drugs.
No,
Yeah,
please
don't do
don't.
drugs.
Unless they're
Don't do-
legal and you're of age, in which case make your own decision. But please don't do them.
Yeah. Like when I probably shouldn't say what age I was. But when I was younger, the first time I smoked weed, it was spliced with like other drugs. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now for me, no, it was like
That's-
with addictive drugs too. It's like, again, I'm not gonna go into detail about it. I'm not gonna tell you guys how
Yeah.
to do this shit.
That was like the first thing I learned in high school was like, hey, first class I ever went into was like, hey, if you ever like see a blunt and it's wet, don't smoke it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
This is what high school is like.
That was me at
I was like,
university.
okay.
That was me at
The
university.
university, bro. That
Oh,
was high
yeah.
school. I was a freshman.
My
Like we went into that class. She was like, we're gonna talk about sex in this class. I'm like, oh, she said it.
Oh.
She said it.
she
Dude, my
said
shit
it.
was
We're
all in
talking
middle
about
school.
drugs,
My
hard
shit was middle school.
alcohol. Oh, I lost my.
See, my middle school was about that, like the whole like sex phase, like the whole drug phase was middle school, right? And then you get to high school, and then people phase out of that drug phase, like, and then you start having your cliques, like the emo cliques, the skater cliques, the jock cliques, and then like the cheerleader clique, all that stuff was going down. And then my school, like my high school, 4 years was literally just infested with teachers getting caught sleeping with students.
Jesus
There was
Christ.
Good job for the students. Yeah.
Dude,
Jesus.
listen.
A
Oh my
pluses
God, dude.
everywhere.
There was four that got caught,
4.
and one
Dude,
was a
some-
female. Only one was female.
Something with the
Dude.
Pennsylvania schools too, dude. My school was the exact same way. Like, yeah, the cliques, and then for some reason, okay, she got caught too. She was the only female teacher. She was a special ed teacher.
Oh my God.
No.
And 9 out of 10. She was a 9 out of 10.
I give up.
Easily. She was younger too. I was like, oh my God. Like
Oh my god.
that
Oh
guy,
my
that
God.
guy graduated. That guy graduated the luckiest kid in his class.
Oh
He
my
also
God,
graduated
that's
the
how I
happiest
feel.
man.
Yeah,
was the
Jesus.
I think every time we went to like phys ed class, like everyone like kind of ganged up and was like, "Yo, what's it like?" He's like, "Hey man, this is great." And I was like, "Okay, man."
He should have been the
Good for you.
valedictorian, dude. He should have been the
Hey.
valedictorian, bro.
Yeah, fucking
I-
grades. Yeah,
I
good
don't
job for this guy.
I think
Jesus.
he had the grades for that, but
But
yeah.
no, I'm gonna go with ours. Ours was the band teacher, a history teacher that had a foot fetish.
Oh,
I think she was a math. She was like a sub at first, and she was the one that got caught. And then they like implemented her as like a full time teacher. And I can't remember what she was, but I know all the people that this happened to too, like student wise, because they were obviously I knew them all.
right.
That teacher, and also there was this other math teacher that got caught with a student as well, and all of them instantly resigned, and the one crashed his vehicle and happened to pass away from that.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The one crazy thing
And-
with the teacher that I was talking about, she was there the week after, and I legit ran into her in the middle of the hallway. I was like, "Oh, hey." She was like, "Oh, hey, were you in my youth group like way back when?" I was like,
Oh yeah!
Oh.
Wow. Come to
you
think of
remember
it.
me.
Come to
Oh,
think
you
of it.
remember me. Hi.
I have no stories like that,
She
but
was
that's
"School teacher." I'm like, "Oh God, you're right." And then she's like all tatted out too, like arms, like she was that kind of woman. I was like, I don't know what Jesus did to you, girl, but oh, all right,
bless. Papa bless.
Papa bless.
Papa bless.
Papa bless.
And mine was the superintendent and like 2 girls.
Oh,
High school, yeah. Mhm.
Whoa. Super the SI getting caught
Mhm.
up.
It was
Jesus.
fucked. No, we
But
had
I
the whole
also-
we had police like go come to the school and arrest him. Apparently he recorded it.
Oh.
Oh
Whoa.
no.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, that man got arrested quick.
man, there's some
I agree that should happen
This-
in my
schools
opinion.
are weird, man.
Yeah. But hey, at least now we know he wasn't the man of the house. If you
Wait,
know what I
I
mean,
gotta-
apparently.
I got a
Jesus
question for you guys.
Christ.
Do you guys know what
Yeah.
X-Fire is?
X
No.
Fire.
Mm.
No.
QLyee, you know what X-Fire was?
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
All right, yeah. I was just gonna go off on a tangent here about video games again, but I can't believe you guys never used Xfire. You must be too young.
Let me
But
click on
Xfire was
images.
basically Steam and how you have your friends together. It was basically like an IM system before
Hmm.
Steam did it, right? It's Steam killed Xfire, pretty much is what happened.
It looks exactly like Steam,
Yeah, exactly to like the T.
just
Well,
90s.
Mhm.
whenever I was in middle, that was like 06, 07. So close. But back in that, I had like this is actually what brought me into like competitive gaming, because even 1.6 didn't. I didn't even know that there was a competitive. I was too young to understand that there was such things as competitive scenes and stuff like that. And even then, back then, what benefit would you have from being in it? Because esports wasn't really.
Yeah.
You might get like $100 per team, and what's that, like $15, $20 per
Yeah,
player?
the biggest thing at the time was StarCraft 2 and Halo 2. You
Yeah.
weren't
Ooh.
playing anything else when it comes to
My
the pro
first
scene.
my first actual tournament win. Well, before I get there, I'll go through this bit. I was on Xfire and I was in COD 4. They released that game. It was like somewhere in like what, 07? So like November, December of 07.
Yeah.
I got that game for Christmas. My stepdad bought it for me. Literally installed it Christmas morning. Got on with my big ass CRT monitor. And this is like when laser mice just like started like being innovated. So I had my laser mouse, my stupid crappy keyboard that was from the Gateway PC back in the day, and fired that up. Got into a game, started played that for about a month, and I ran into this group called 151, and it was just like a chill clan, like just some where you just go and hang out and just play with each other, stuff like that. They didn't really have anything too crazy. Well, I met this girl in there called Moo, and we invited her in. She was right around my age as well. Actually, she was a year older than me, because I specifically remember this. Had a serious crush. Had a serious crush on this girl. Like
Oh,
it was bad, because I was like, dude, she's a gamer. She looks good. Like you're just like,
She's
Mish's
secretly a
first
man
gamer
princess.
girl.
yeah,
Mish's first gamer
girl
girl.
ever. Yeah, and I remember the name to a T. Like it was Moo. Just her name was Moo, Moo, and the guys that ran 151 was Smokey and Vash, and they just pretty much just accepted us, and we were in there for probably a few months. And she got me to move from 151 to a clan called BD, which stand for Bad Dogs Clan,
Hmm.
and they were more competitive. They had their own mod that they installed, stuff like that. So I jumped on to their server and was playing with the owner of BD, and his name was Shepard. He lived in Pennsylvania as well, probably like 2 hours away from me. So we start playing with that. We get into like these tournament phases, like we qualified for it because we came second place in qualifier. So we moved to the next stage and was playing with the other teams there. We ended up moving through with this team. It was me, Moo, which at the time I didn't even go by Mishmash yet because I didn't even have that clout yet. I had Ryden as my screen name. So I was BD Ryden. And
Riding
Moo
this dick. Sorry.
BD, Moo, Shepard, Abel, and another guy that I forget his name because he's irrelevant to my stories. Okay, so um, we win this tournament. We only get like $50 payout for it each because it wasn't, esports wasn't a thing. I mean, it was COD 4 Modern Warfare. It wasn't like super big. So we win this. Go to find out, I had my first heartbreak, dude. First heartbreak.
Oh,
Moo and Abel start talking and become a thing, and I was just like, man, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, dog.
all
It was so
around me are familiar faces.
I was so heartbroken. I was like, no.
I see trees of green.
Green. Jesus.
So,
Right after that,
Just tear rolling down one cheek.
after that, we kind of like, me and Moo kind of like stopped playing with each other because she was always playing with Abel, and I was just like, whatever. And Abel wanted to like talk this mad shit on me for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why there was like this rift, and I ended up leaving BD because of it, because he was just trash and talking to me constantly. He was older than me too. So I get in a game because he told me he could stomp me because I'm a noob, blah, 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 this and that. Well, needless to say, I don't lose to 1v1s, okay? Especially dudes that trash talk me, okay? No, I'm just kidding. But no, I beat him. And after I beat him, it was like I was alienated from there. Shepard liked me still, but most of the people within the community didn't, because after I beat him, I started my trash talk, and then they told me I was toxic, even though literally he started it.
Mhm.
So that was my first. That was my toxic days as like a 14, 13, a 13, 12, 13-year-old. Yeah, somewhere around there, right? I don't
Did
know.
I ever tell you
man's-
how I got kicked from HLV, bro, or Habro, whatever it is?
I know about it. Yes.
Oh, so okay, so you know why I got kicked? Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, I know about it. I think it's kind of funny.
It's
$5
hilarious. Okay,
hit it, but it was me, $5, and my two brothers that started Bro, though, which is unfortunate that it just kind of like died out. Everybody just lost interest, is what happened,
Hmm.
because everybody was moving on to their own type of thing. Like I went on to streaming, $5 went on to other things, and my brothers were just kind of like not into it anymore. They were like, yeah, it's whatever. So unfortunately, we lost that community of like 500 people just like literally in like a month. It just died out, just straight died out. But after we won that tournament and Moo broke my heart is whenever I rebranded to Mishmash. It was like a few weeks after that I hit my Grand Slam in Little League, and
nice.
they called me Mishmash ever since, and I changed that to my alias, and then nobody knew who I was.
This man stole your girl, talked shit, and ruined your
Career.
like your reputation.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I was
fuck
like,
him.
whatever.
He'll
So
never
that was
be
my
a
first.
Lux.
Bro,
was
he's
my
probably
first.
like 35 now, like married.
Yeah, he's probably filing taxes right now, like old
5
people
kids just skimming off
I
the
know,
top
right?
on some
Yeah.
corporation.
Well, Moo went to the Air Force after that,
Oh,
and
shit.
I haven't seen her. I haven't talked to her or seen her since, because I had her added on Xfire, and like they just completely shut down the service for Xfire, and you couldn't like find anybody anymore. It was crazy. It's just a dead thing now.
You ever tried looking her up on Instagram by the same username?
It non-existent anymore.
Mm,
Well, that's
I'm
sad.
sorry to hear that.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, but it's whatever.
Sorry.
First
yeah.
e-girl broke my heart.
Dude, it's always the e-girl.
Those damn
Dude,
e-girls.
it's always the e-girl. I swear it always is.
I'm actually kind of curious about this for everyone. We kind of touched on it very briefly for just a second, but like, what's like everyone's like first esport that they were introduced to?
Oh.
I almost caught 4, as I explained.
God for
Halo
you.
2. Halo 2. I started following Ninja after Halo 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Mine was actually Counter-Strike 1.6.
Really?
So, yeah, so this sucks because like this story still gets me down and like really, really down. But when I was like, you know, when I was like 8 or like close to maybe 9, I went to the mall with my dad because I think I had to get like clothes or something. And like there was this like a tournament set up, right? There's this tournament going. And they were just like start registering here. And I was like, what the fuck what's going on, right? And I just see 10 PCs lined up. 5 facing one direction, 5 facing the other. And I was just like, what the hell is going on? And this one dude runs up to me. He goes, yo, we need one for a team. I was like, a team of what? He goes, do you know what Counter-Strike is? I said, sure. I've been playing Condition Zero since I was 6. I've been preparing for this moment my entire life. And he goes, we need one for this team. I was like, what Counter-Strike is it? He said 1.6. I said, okay, it'll work. And then he goes, what's your GT? And I go, Predator. And I spell it wrong because I'm 9. And I put an E instead of an O. But, you know, it works. So I was just called the Predator. This was right? Right? I was Yep. So we sit
what you date before you go on an actual date.
Yeah. So we sit down on this at the setup. I'm looking around me. I'm like, fuck me. These guys look like they know, because they're all taller. They're older. I was like, they look like they know what they're doing. They're like 13, 14. They're like fucking 5'2", something like that. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, I'm out of my element here. I'm out of my depth. And the other team walk up to sit down in their PCs, and they're just so old, like 20s. And they look like they're sweating. and I'm like, oh no. Like one dude has like armpits all wet, and I'm like, fuck me, I'm dead. Like, and then like it all comes down to me, and where like it was Dust too, and I was at B site, the door sitting right outside, like by the box. He was on B site, and he just runs out the door, and I kill him, and his buddy runs out, peeks me at 1 HP, and I shoot him once and kill him, clutch the game. And ever since then, we were still a team. I haven't seen or spoke to any of the 4 other teammates of mine ever again after
Like
my
Optic India.
fucking clutch. And there was no other tournament like around that time. So I was fucking 9. Like how am I gonna get there? So like
You should.
I could have had an esports career if I kept
Yeah.
going with that. As
You
Predator,
should- You,
It's pretty
you should have
good.
taken Forsaken's spot on Optic India.
imagine though.
Man.
Volantiss
funny.
word.exe.
Dude, it still gets me so. I could have made it, man.
The Volantiers meme could apply to that.
True.
Oh,
Oh,
there goes Tengu. Yo,
What?
He's back.
badass. The Predator sounds like such a badass name.
Yeah, the
dude,
Predator. That's
it was
That's
so
so good.
accidental, but it worked, man.
The Predator. Someone who didn't know how to spell predator correctly.
Yeah.
Predator.
A 9-year-old that didn't know how to spell Predator. Oh, that still gets me so down. I really could have made it. That's why I'm like somewhat decent at FPSs. But from 9 to like 14, I took a break. Like I was done with games. It got me so down every time I played.
So I got another question. Did any of you guys like ever fail any classes in high school?
No. I'm Indian. I can't.
Okay. Well, see, I was bare minimum. I did the least amount of work to pass, and I have this funny story how I failed physics. Right?
Need help with physics? I got you.
I know it, but like I just didn't apply. Like it literally, I'm not stupid, but I just didn't apply myself at all because
Mm.
I was in this class with this one chick, right? And it's funny how I passed the final. It's quite funny because I knew nothing. Yeah, actually, no, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know nothing about physics. I know history. I can barely speak English. Like, what do you think I did in school? Come on now. But I was in, and my mom literally told me because I was talking to her about this one chick, and my mom knew her mom because they worked together, right? And she was like, "No, for the love of God, no." And I was like, "Okay, I respect it." So I go into this class, and of course, the teacher's like, "All right, you got to pick groups." Chick comes over to me. She goes, "Mish, you're in my group." I'm like, "Serious? All right." So whatever. So I'm like, I go over, and she was like a skater chick too. Like she was like in between the emo and skater. She was like right in between somewhere. She wasn't like completely like emo, but she wasn't like completely skater. So she skated with us, but she was also like had to pierce like the lip piercing stuff like that.
Nice.
Uh, but she looked good, you know. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. So I'm there. We're in this group with like two of my other classmates, and I literally did nothing the whole school year. Did nothing, dude. It was literally like all right, I'm just gonna say it. I don't know. There's not like a nice way to like an easy way to say this. I was basically just like feeling up and getting my feels. All right, so I'm just gonna say it like that. While we're in class and nobody's watching, I'm just like. I'm just doing all this stuff, and she's just like having it. Like she was the one that basically was like, "Yeah, sure, just do it, just do it, bitch, just do it, pussy." And I'm like, "Okay, okay, I will." So we basically did that like the whole school year. Like it was just the dumbest thing ever, and it comes down to the final. Well, here's the thing. I slacked so bad and did absolutely nothing in that class so bad that I needed at least an A minus on the final to pass that class. And I was a senior, right? I was like, oh my God, I am going to fail and fail my senior year and have to repeat 12th grade. Like, this is not happening right now. I sit down with this test in front of me and I'm just like looking at it. And some of it's multiple choice, and most of it was written out answers where you have to actually write down your your theorem, what the hell they call them, theorems or whatever. I don't know.
Formula?
I can't remember.
Formula?
Formulas, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the correct word. That's it. That's the one.
Told
But
you I'm
anyhow, you
Indian.
write down all the formulas, and they have to be like to the T perfect, right? And I'm just looking at this like I'm looking at a foreign language. Like, oh my god, this is not happening right now. I'm so screwed. My mom's gonna kill me. I'm dead. I'm gonna get beat with the cutting board when I get home, because my mom would beat me like when I was younger with this cutting board that had a sunflower on it. It looks nice, but it doesn't feel nice. I'll tell you. But I sit down with this test and I look at it and I had like 4 questions filled out of like I don't know 40, and he looks at me and he's like, "Mish, you gonna need more time?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, well, come in for lunch tomorrow and skip lunch and I'll give you more time." I was like, "Okay." He walks back into the room where he had like chemicals and stuff too. As he walks back there, I walk past his desk and see a blank test. I picked that shit up and walked out of the class with it. My best friend to date, they couldn't figure out how I did this, right? They could not figure out how I schemed this. The teacher knew I cheated, but he couldn't figure out how. I went to my best friend's house, which is the smartest guy I know to date. Like, I was best friends. I was like the one of the lowest rated GPAs in our grade, and he was number one. Number one. I don't know how that kind of click happens, but it did. I go over to his house and he was hesitant about it, and basically me being the con artist I am, I conned him into doing it.
This poor
And
kid.
it,
Good for
he,
him.
it's one of our greatest stories now, because I quite literally wouldn't have passed my senior year without him. Like, quite literally. I take it over there. I was like, dude, just do this for me. I'm gonna go back to my house and just give it to me before we get to school. I'll drive over and we'll just change up whatever it is, and I'll write down the answers. He's like, okay. So I go over there, take the test, and I just start writing down in my handwriting everything. I end up getting one question wrong, and it was just one of the formulas was missing something. So he basically gave me an A plus. And he's like, I don't know how you did this, because you basically did nothing all school year. He's like, I really thought you were gonna fail. Well, anyhow, they're just like, he's like staring at the test and looking at me. I was like, well, I'm not stupid. Like, I know how to do it. So
That's
I
right.
just get up. I just get up and just walk out. And I remember walking across the stage to get my diploma, him just like looking at me like he knew, but didn't know how, and couldn't
Put it together.
say that I did. Yeah, he couldn't put it together, so there was no proof. There
Mhm.
was no evidence.
Wow.
Because what happened was I went into the room and he gave me my test, and I was the only person in there. All I did was just take the one that was blank, and I sat there for like 35, 45 minutes just filling out random shit on that one. And then I folded that one up and put it in my folder and pulled out the one that I was completed earlier and just gave that into him when I left.
Wow.
And,
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Absolutely insane.
Damn.
dude, whenever
So,
I know, what's so funny is I might not be the most book smart person to know, but my street smarts and my my ways to like swindle myself through stuff is ridiculous. Like my street smarts and my like on point accuracy for things that I have to do like while in the moment is so refined that it's ridiculous.
I like to think I'm more balanced. Like I have some book smarts, but I'm also fairly knowledgeable of the streets.
no, I'm all
History
book smart. I'm a fucking idiot on the streets.
History is my only book smart. Like, that's the only thing I was interested in, because here's my thing. Since I've been out of high school, do you know how often I've used physics or algebra or any of those other wild science maths like geometry? Do you know how? Okay, I might have used geometry like to a degree in Photoshop, but besides that, have I actually implemented it into my life? No, I have not. Because you know why? I went into law enforcement, and that is quite literally, unless I'm going to be a crime scene reconstruction, like forensic person, I'm never going to use it. Never, never. And I think our school system that we have in America is flawed, because they force you to teach you things that, what if, I think they could teach you things better that could help you in your farther adulthood if they taught you things that actually applied to you, if that makes sense. So classes and things that actually applied to you. Like when I got out of high school, I didn't know how to fill out a check. I didn't know how to do taxes. I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to do that. And you need to know there's real life things to actually go through life. Like I didn't even know what I was supposed to do for taxes. Like I was like, what the hell do I do? Thank God I have my parents around so I could be like, take these sons of bitches and do something with them because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
But now I know because I taught myself. Literally, there's things that I believe should be taught in schools that just isn't, that need to be taught because they apply so much later on in life, but they just don't teach you about it.
Yeah, like home ed, like they completely remove home ed from schools now. It's so dumb.
I was a home ec boss. We called it home ec because we called it home education or whatever. And we
Mhm.
basically just cooked like every damn day and sewed some random
Mhm.
shit. And basically what that class was a bunch of skaters going to a class that just they could just dick off in and do whatever they really wanted to.
Yeah.
My buddy was I had three of my friends pass away in a vehicle accident, and they were all on my baseball team too. And I had issues with this because I played third base and catcher, and he was primary, like the first string. And whenever he got tired, if we had a double header, I'd play the second. But we were like pretty equal in skill and stuff because he taught me everything that I knew. So we always rolled together as a team. And when he was tired, I took out, and it was pretty much having the same player because we basically played the same way. And he ended up passing away in a vehicle accident along with two of the other ones. But he was in home ec with me, and he was sewing a pillow on a sewing machine. This is probably the most terrible thing I ever did. I was like, "Here, watch, check this out." And kids are dumbasses. I walk over and he's hitting the pedal as he's sewing the pillow. I just ram his foot down as hard as I could onto the pedal, and that sewing machine just like went overdrive. It made the worst sewing marks in his pillow and stabbed
Oh.
the side of his thumb.
Oh.
Oh my god, it was the dude, I felt like such an asshole, but it was funny.
Does the
You
needle
felt
have
like
to
an
come
asshole?
out the
Yeah.
other? Does it have to come out the same way it went in? Because now there's a thread going into the side of your thumb. How are you gonna get that out?
What do you mean? You just cut it and pull it out.
But the thread. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
I was an idiot. I was an idiot. And then I watched my friend like almost cut his finger off in wood shop.
Oh God.
Oh God.
was
he wasn't
fun.
paying, he wasn't paying attention. He was on a table saw like just pushing this wood through, just and then all of a sudden you just hear and you just see blood spray up into the ceiling. It's just like and it just sprays up. And he's like, this is literally his reaction. He just does it like he's running the wood, cuts his finger, and he just looks at it. And it's just like a big gouge from the saw. And
Oh God.
Yo, my stepdad did the same thing. It was just hanging off by the skin. I think it was his thumb though. Oh man, I can only imagine the side of that. If it's spewing up in the air. Ooh.
yeah, because the blade was running like the direction of, or it would, if it cut, it would throw like anything upwards. And yeah, that's what happened. It was the funniest thing ever. I work with that kid now where I work at now.
Good thing, thank God for hard stops now. Have you guys seen
Oh,
those
yeah.
videos? People putting up hot dogs next to it and just barely
What the
like
fuck?
touches it.
Those poor glizzies, man.
Those poor glizzies.
Those poor glizzies, bro.
Those glizzies be getting destroyed out there.
Man,
Oh man.
like they don't even tear them up. It's like it does like a slice, like a tiniest slice. It barely even touches like the skin of the hot dog.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's so
Jesus.
weird.
Nothing.
What'd
I
you
have no
do?
worry. Nothing.
Man.
I'm not worried about it.
But yeah, after all that high school crazy stuff, I ended up moving to North Carolina, which was great. This is where we're starting to get into the NSFW stuff right now.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well,
Save
here's the
those for after
question.
night podcast.
Yep.
Keep
Here's
that going.
here's the question.
Oh,
Speaking
baby.
of your time at North Carolina, is Twitch the only thing you do in terms of work? If not, what is?
All right, so when I was down in North Carolina, I worked. Well, at first when I got down there, I was down there with one of my exes, right? Because we moved down there to work together, and she had a really good job being a respiratory therapist at a great hospital, and I was I applied for armored truck security, and I got that job, and that was probably the worst job I ever had in my life because we had the worst trucks I've ever seen. Like they were probably not even supposed to be on the road. That's how bad they were. And I did that for a little while, and my truck ended up breaking down like 200 miles away or something like that. Yeah, I called the branch manager, and she was just like, "Hey, if you can just like limp it back home, that'd be great." And I was like, 20 miles an hour? And I'm already like 12 hours deep into my run? Like, this ain't happening. She's like, "Well, there's no tow trucks coming for you, so you got to do something." And I was like, "What the hell?" Take a guess how much money was in the back of my truck, because this was at the end of the night. Guess how much money's in my truck?
$3.
Just throw a number.
$30,000.
Negative.
$120,000.
Negative. We're talking like 7 mil. So I have 7 mil in my
Oh.
truck, and the dude that's with me found out that he was an Army Ranger before he got out of the military. Like, I found that later on. He's like, "Dude, this is some bullshit." I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "If you just want to sleep, dude, rack out." So I'm on the interstate, limping at 20 miles an hour. I'll go through one county. I end up getting pulled over by the sheriff's department.
Hmm.
The sheriff comes up, pulls us over, and asks for my IDs and stuff like that because he thought someone stole the truck and didn't know how to drive the truck. He thought maybe something was wrong because I was literally going 20 miles an hour on a 70 because I couldn't, and they stopped me. So I'm like, "Oh God, whatever." So I give them all the ID identification, and so does my partner. And they're like, "All right, well, you guys be safe. Have a good night." I was like, "You too. Have a good one out there." We get back on the road. I'm driving for like 2.5, 3 more hours. I made it only 60 miles. We're like 100 miles still away, 120 miles away from the branch. I get pulled over again by another sheriff's department, and they did the same thing. I was like, "No, our truck's just jacked up, and the branch manager's being a bitch, and I can't. I have to limp it back home like this." Okay, have a good night. I find this massive hole on the side of the interstate. Like, it's like I can't even tell you how big this hole was. I was like, whatever. Well, on the trucks that we have like bulletproof tires because they're super thick. Like they're like reinforced with Kevlar. I hit this damn hole going 20 miles an hour to see, like, it got stuck in low gears. What the issue was with the truck. I hit this thing and it must have popped the transmission because it just like jumped it back up to like 65. So I hit this hole and my dude in the back was sleeping. He didn't hear me. I was like, "Dude, you better hang on." Didn't wake up. I bounced that dude off the roof back down in the chair side to side, racked him off the cages. He was so pissed, dude. So mad. I was
Oh
like,
my
"Sorry,
god.
my bad, dude." Money was flying around the back, like in the packets that we have, like sealed, like they're sealed because they already been counted and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Money was everywhere, so we had to pick it up and throw it back in the bins. Uh, we get back to the branch, and my branch manager's like, "Oh, good run, guys. Thanks for bringing it back." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." I was pissed off at this point. She looks at me and she's like, "Yeah, at this point when I get back, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning." She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have you guys back here at 6 o'clock to do a run again with another truck." And I was like, "Fuck you and fuck this job. I'm done." I took my uniform off, like my shirt down, and just walked off in my tent with my fuck you.
Hold on. Wait. Okay, go.
You good?
Yeah, no, we're lagging like a lot. I don't know if that's me.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had that too.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
disconnected earlier.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Fuck you, I'm done." So I threw it down and just walked out. Didn't go back. I was like, "I quit. Take me off the books. I'm done." Well, about a week or two before this, I ended up applying because the guy that I was running with told me to apply for NIH, which I did. Which it was a federal security job, contract federal security. So I did that. They ended up calling me because of my previous my reference, which was the Army Ranger guy, and because of my previous work history, which was police and armored truck security.
Mm-hmm.
So I go there for the interview. I have this really professional interview. I have like 2 binders set up with all of my certifications for police academy, so on and so forth. They like me. I end up getting hired there 2 days after I quit Garda. Like, I had no other job to go to. I just threw my shit down. I was like, "I'm done." because I wasn't coming back in 5 hours to run another 20 hours. Like, it's not happening. And I get on there, best job I've ever had in my life. Best job I ever had in my life. Literally was just chill mode all the time. Right there is where I met my best friend in North Carolina. He was this jacked black dude out of the army. Like, literally his bicep, he looked like Goku, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, he was built like Goku. Like, and he was into Dragon Ball Z too, so I always called him the Super Saiyan. It was the greatest thing ever. But here, this story right here, not much happened while I was at the contract federal security job. Basically, the only thing that really happened there, long story short, I shot a coyote. That was it. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Long
So
story
that's it.
short, I killed an animal.
Yeah, I shot a coyote that was running after me, and he dead. So, and I ran over a deer the next day. I didn't hit a
Oh my
deer. I
God.
ran over a deer.
You
Oh,
creamed that deer.
the
Some free
environmentalists.
deer creamings.
What's so funny about that story, though, I'll say, is I shot the coyote the day before, ran over this deer, and then the third day, something else happened. But I was patrolling the perimeter, and as I was going around the road, I was just like looking to my left, checking the fence, just like driving, because I mean I did this every day, so I know where the path is. So I'm just like checking for things, making sure everything's good. And all of a sudden, I just feel a bump, like bump, bump. I was like, oh shit. So I just put it in park. And I look behind me, and there's a deer in the middle of the road, just dead. I was like, what?
You might not have
just the
run it
deer.
over. It might have already been run over, and you just ran over its corpse.
No, no. I look behind me. It's just laying there. It moves like its head and looks over at me, like in the most terrible like
Oh
fashion
no!
ever.
Oh
Like,
no! Oh no!
and I just look at it, and it's like looking into my soul. I'm just like, I'm so sorry. And he's just like staring at me, and then just like
Drops dead. Yeah.
just drops down. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do about this? So I call my lieutenant, and he's like, what did you do? You hit a deer? I said, no, sir, I ran over a deer. He's like, what? How do you run over a deer? I said, I don't know. He's like, oh my God. He's like, Mish, we just had this conversation about yesterday about stuff like this. He's like, take that deer and just toss it in the woods, dog.
Oh,
Toss it in the woods. No, forgot about it. The next day I come to work. I'm in the same vehicle doing my tour inside, and then I go outside to do the perimeter. I'm outside doing the perimeter. I open up the door. Well, they didn't get us for whatever reason. They bought us these regular vehicles that had regular bushings for the doors. Well, needs to say, we get in and out of these vehicles 100 times a day because it's the same vehicle used for first, second, and third shift. You're in and out constantly all day to check buildings and all kinds of stuff, right? Well, the bushings are starting to get bad, and when you open the door would hop. So like boom, 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 boom. Like it was weird how it like hop.
Hold. Go
I
again.
think you're gonna.
Yeah, you're good now.
I open up the door, and instead of the door hopping, the door just falls off the opposite way a Lambo door would open. So it just fell straight to the floor. Boom! Just straight off. And I'm just like looking at this door, and I was like, you seriously have got to be kidding me. This is three incidents in 3 days. Like, you seriously? I call my lieutenant again. Same lieutenant for the past 2 days. Hey, LT, this is it's Mish. Hey. He's like, what? What do you need? I was like, so I opened the vehicle door, and the door fell off. And he just starts busting out laughing, and he's like, what? I was like, I opened the door, and the door fell off. He's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, I'm going to bring the door back with me and show you. So I just open up the back hatch and just lift the door up and throw it in there and shut it. I drive back like I'm driving like a Jeep, like with the doors off. It's like middle of winter.
Oh
It's not
no!
icy or snowy down there. It's just cold. So I'm like, Jesus God. So I get inside and I'm like, go check it out. He starts cracking up when he comes out. He's like, this would seriously happen to you and only you. I was like, you're right. You're not wrong. That was the only crazy stories about that. About a few months later, I always went out to the club and bars with my my buddy, I'm just gonna call him Super Saiyan. We'll always go out with Super Saiyan. He had clout in North Carolina. So we would walk up to the clubs and he would just drop them 20, $50 and they would just let us walk through and we'd go to VIP or wherever we would want to go. So we're doing this one night and these chicks, they must have been leave from the base because they were Air Force chicks, right? At least that was what they told me to my knowledge. So we're in there dancing. He's dancing with a girl. I'm dancing with one, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Well, she asked me, she's like, hey, do you want to come over to my place then? Da, 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 stuff like that. Well, she lived closer to work than I did. So I was like, win-win situation here. Win-win situation. So at the end of the night, I'm good. Leaving, I'm following her to her house. We get to her house, her apartment. And I go up there. Well, first red flag I should have noticed was she laid me down on the tile floor in the bathroom, right? Like, who does that?
What the fuck?
When you're drinking and stuff like that, you're not thinking because you just know what's going to happen. So you're like, okay. So just lay down. She gets on top and starts doing great things. She starts
Right.
doing great things. Like
Doing the good.
the greatest, the greatest of the greatest things ever. So, okay. She's going for about 8 minutes, right? Going for about 8 minutes strong. And she has like her legs wrapped all kinds of crazy ways. All of a sudden, dude, she just pops up and just starts spraying me, dude. No idea what was gonna happen.
Oh no.
Hear the sound of the pee just like gushing out. Like it's just like, dude, all over me. I'm there laying on the floor trying to get away, right? Because I had no idea this was gonna happen. I'm trying to get away and I'm on the floor like, no, no, no. And it's like flying in my face,
He's
my
so
nose, my ears,
drunk.
my mouth. I'm like, no, like it stops like after a minute because I swear to God, it felt like I just got dumped on by like one of those water park buckets that they have that just like fill with water.
A minute?
Dude, I swear to God, it was like a minute, or at least it felt like a minute. Okay.
Sprayed
But-
down with a hose, bro. What the hell?
But anyhow, she gets up and she's like, You're not gonna finish? And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean finish? I was like, I'm getting a goddamn shower. So I go to stand
Oh,
up
you
off
got
the
a
floor.
shower, all right.
I go to get up off the floor. There was so much piss on the floor that my back was like suction cupped to the floor. So I get up and it's just like
Can't even eat my food,
I'm
man.
crying.
I get up. I get in the shower. I start shower shampooing my
Oh,
hair,
no.
using the her products. I smell like a straight
Oh,
chick.
God.
Like it was like Bath and Body Works shit.
Oh,
I
my
get out.
God.
She like waddles over to her bed and just face plants it. And she's still just like completely naked, just ass up in the air. And I go over and I'm like still terrified at this point because I'm like 22, 23 years old at this point. Like that's my first time doing that and like
No.
experiencing that. I had no idea that was going to happen. Like it was she didn't tell me previously that she was going to do that. She didn't acknowledge that she was going to do that. Nothing to my thought process thought that was what was going to take place. So I walk over to the bed and I just like start rolling her over to the other side so I can lay down and just go to sleep because I saw a couch, but I was like, this bitch just pissed on me. I'm sleeping in the bed.
Right.
So
As a normal person would.
I rolled her over and there was like a little crack between her bed and the wall. And something thought to me, well, I'm just going to push her in the crack because it's funny. So I just pushed her over and she fell face down and there's like a radiator down there and her feet were still like laying on the bed. So the way she laid was just the funniest position ever. I just pulled the covers up to like my face and like just slept like a terrified kid. And I fell asleep. I woke back up like 3 hours, 4 hours later, put my uniform on, went back to work, told my friend about it. He starts cracking up. He's dying about what happened. He's like, dude, I had a great night. I don't know what happened to you. I was like, bad things occurred. And he's just like cracking up, thinking that I was like referring to something else. I was like, no, you don't even know. So I told him the story. He's dying. Right after I get done telling the story, she messages me and goes, hey, we should probably hang out again. I almost died. I was going to ghost her. So I did.
I was about to say,
Oh.
I was going to. That implies you didn't. Wait a minute.
But the next week, or was it 2 weeks? It was sometime after. I saw her again. Needless to say, I went back. This time, I switched the roles up a little bit, right?
No.
Everything went as planned. Everything went as planned this time.
No.
Nothing happened crazy like that. But I may or may not have. While we were going to sleep, she already passed out asleep. I may or may not have just like turned over and just did the deed back while in the bed.
I pissed on that girl and
You gave her the R. Kelly.
Oh
My
no.
God, dude! Give you R. Kelly girls when they're sleeping.
Oh,
Jesus
God,
Christ.
dude. She deserved
Oh.
it though.
You're right, but like, Jesus, dude.
Jesus
What?
Christ.
This was an event for you. That's the worst part.
Oh yeah.
This was an event.
I felt
Oh
like the
my
favor needed to
God.
be returned. Needs to say, she never messaged me after that, but
Yeah, she was
I don't know
soaked in your
why.
fucking piss.
well, I mean, I figured if she did it to me and messaged me, I figured like she would message me back. You know, I thought it was a favor. I thought that's what she wanted.
You thought she liked it.
Oh, I think she
I
did at
guess.
first.
Right?
Jeez.
Clearly
I
felt
don't
some
know,
type
but-
of way about it. Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
And then
Where do we
after that,
even? Keep going.
I- I was terrified. I was honestly like after that whole like encounter, I probably didn't talk to anybody or even like want to be around anybody for like a solid like 8-9 months. So I literally just cut my ties with like any girl I was talking to and was just like, I'm done. And then I thought in my mind, I should have probably just been gay because this would probably never happen to me.
Are you gay now?
Well,
No, I'm not gay now. I just live a life of luxuriously like great things. So luxuriously good things. So I go to work, make all my money there, and then I come home and I stream and make no money.
Absolutely none. Yep. Sounds like fun.
yeah. Although I do have to say, according to your statistics, you are one of the fastest growing streamers on the platform right now. How does that make you feel? All right.
Like that
Nice,
makes me feel
nice.
just like that.
Wait, is that
because
actually
I
true?
love
All right, listen. Okay, we have to cut this out. It's kind of a lie, but I'm trying to like build him up, make like the content scene like, hey,
I was like,
we got a big deal here. But it's
I've
actually
looked.
mishmash.
I was about to say, I've looked at his Sully gnome. He's not.
You know, hey man, we gotta make it. We gotta sell it. We gotta sell it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
no, but no, definitely the community was definitely sweet. I never thought that anything like this would occur, like getting involved with like Repttard and Luxe or anything.
Yeah.
Literally, the only reason why I even went to Repttard stream was because we were tied with like viewership, like literally 1, 2, 3 viewers away from each other, and I was like, "Who the hell is this bitch, and who does he think he is taking the king spot?" So.
Hmm.
I rolled into a stream just to see what he was doing better, see if I could do something better. And then I saw all the RGB and I was like,
Shit, I actually like this guy.
I saw all the RGB and I was like, yep, can't beat this guy. I don't have no RGB.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, it is what it is. So I started talking to him, found out he was chill, and did not think that this is where it would lead me to. Definitely not, because I was always on the grind for myself because I couldn't find people that were hungry enough for the grind that it takes,
Hmm.
hungry enough to be involved in take the time to develop something great. They
Mhm.
always get like halfway, not even halfway. They get like 5% of the way through, and they're just like, "All right, I'm out. This isn't working." And I'm like, "You got to give it time. Like, you can't just expect things to happen overnight. It's just not gonna happen. That's unrealistic goals."
Shit might even take like 2 or 3 years for it to finally like get some
Exactly.
viewership.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it isn't something that just pops up overnight. It's impossible. Nothing just happens overnight.
How did you come across Fenge?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Came across Venge by actually one of my friends called Albright55 because he found out about it from Tengu.
I never even told him.
He saw you streaming it.
Oh really? He never followed me. I'm gonna yell at him.
He saw you stream it or something like that, and he told me about it. And then I finally got onto it whenever you told me about it. I looked at it and yeah, that
Damn
was
right.
great. That was great English, by the way, that by me. But I looked
Damn
at the
right.
game when Albright told me about it, and I was just like, this game looks like it could be okay, I guess. And then you told me about it, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. So I jumped on with Tengu and wrecked him, and he cried a few times, and then
I think
Bro,
I
I
was.
stayed on it.
I
I'm
think that was the
beating you.
first. I think that was the first stream I ever watched of yours too. It was you. It was you two 1v1 each other. I was like, what the fuck is this?
You got me in ARs, but I beat you in snipers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I watched. I watched your snipers game. And Tengu won. That's exactly what I watched. I remember.
Yeah,
You
he did.
damn right I did.
Yep.
I
You
trashed
damn
him on
right.
AR, and he beat me in snipers, but I'm better with the
Well,
snipers now. But
here's my thing. I mean, you're definitely a better aimer than me. But the one reason I'm actually decent at Counter Strike is because of my movement. So I've been trained like a Pavlovian dog that if I want to shoot, I have to stop. So like when you're flying around corners, jumping and like jumping mid-air and still hitting accurate shots, it's just not in me to do that. So that's why snipers, I stop and shoot. That's just natural. I'll hit like jumping shots every once in a while, but that's my one downside with Venge.
I stop and shoot
yeah,
too.
I feel that.
I stop and shoot too.
But
It's a horrible habit.
It's
You gotta go
terrible.
start playing Quake. Get some
I
better
would love
movement
to
for the
play
game.
Quake.
yeah, that's pretty much sums up to like where I'm at now without going into like specific details about my life. Pretty much, I was a dickhead.
Made
I
some
had some crazy
mistakes.
experiences.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into detail about really like what I've experienced through work and stuff like that because some of that stuff gets pretty gritty, and I don't want to get like I just don't. I'd rather
You're
not.
good. You're good.
Yeah.
But
That one
there's
job
been
that you said that was really good. How did you end up leaving that job? Or is that going to be also another one of those stories?
I actually ended up leaving that job because I had to come back home. This is actually
Mm.
pretty wild. I actually just completely left this out. What happened was after the whole my ex left because we weren't working well. Like we didn't realize we never lived together before we actually moved and lived together. Okay, so we didn't know how that would work, and we just took a limb and just went down there and just started working. Like, hey, yeah, we're starting our
Leap of
early
faith.
adulthood.
Leap of faith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just took a leap of faith for real. And when we got down there, when I say I was making money, dude, I was making money. I make so much more money down there than I make where I'm at right now. But you have to think of the cost of living down in North Carolina is higher than where I'm at right now.
Mm.
So I lived in a condo with my ex. The rent alone was $1,000. The rent alone. I'm talking no internet, no utilities, no like none of the electric, none of that included. So give or take, we'll add just $400. I can't remember the exact amount we're paying, but I'll just add like $1,400 a month to live where I was at. Great place, beautiful place, loved it. Well, I wanted to come home from work and stream for a little bit, and then I'd watch TV with her. Well, it came to the point where we weren't seeing eye to eye, and it was just because we had different habits and different things that we enjoyed, and we fell apart because of that reason. Like I like streaming, I like talking to viewers, I like hanging out with people online, and she just wanted to watch TV shows all day. So it is what it is. We didn't see eye to eye. We went our own separate ways. I was in North Carolina by myself because she moved back to Pennsylvania, right? I was down in North Carolina by myself trying to pay $1,400 myself. I bought a brand new car when I was down there, a 2014 Mustang GT. I was making
Mm.
payments on that. paying for the insurance for that, paying for the gas to go back and forth to work, paying for groceries. At the end of the month, I was short $200 for my rent. So I had to wait till my next paycheck to put it on there because I just didn't have enough. It was impossible for me to make that money. So what ended up happening was at the end of my contract, they were like, you can either re-sign the contract or you can dip out. And I was like, I have to dip out because I can't make these payments like this.
He's like, I'm losing money.
Well,
Yeah, makes sense.
needless to say, the complex that I lived in, they kind of dicked me because I went down to the office and explained to them what was happening and what I wanted to do. Well, every time I was $200 short, which was like for like 4 or 5 months, they hit my credit with that. Right? So I went out to try to find another place to go. And what I did is I went to basically it was like a college house almost where you have your own separate room and bathroom, but you share like the kitchen and living room and stuff like that. So literally it was kind of like a setup like you would for a dorm, which there was kids there going to college, but normal people could apply for this as well because it was off campus and stuff like that. So it was like off campus housing. It was only $300 a month. Dude, I could easily banked money doing that. Had to move everything out of my condo into a storage unit because my credit was so low that they couldn't basically give me the room because my credit score was so low, and no apartment complex down there would pick me up because my credit score was so low because of the previous uh, credit score hits that I took from the other tenants. Like, you know what I mean? The other condo. Literally wound up being homeless. Literally.
Wow. That's
Moved,
shitty.
moved everything into a storage unit, lost all my following on CSGO. Had a downward spiral from there. It died when I came back, obviously, because I was homeless for 7 months in North Carolina. I lived out of my car. I had a trunk that just had clothing folded up in the back of the trunk, and I had my casual stuff on the left and my uniforms and stuff on the right. And the way I made this work was we had a shower room and like a launder at work in like the barracks. So I would go there, wash my clothes, drop them off at they whenever I come back the next day they'd be done, whatever. So I'd go there, shower, leave, go to a Walmart parking lot or like a hotel parking lot and just sleep in that, and then wake up the next day and just go to work. That's all my life was for 7 months, was sleeping in parking lots and going to work. Until my buddy found out, Super Saiyan found out that I was homeless. Because my thing is whenever I'm going through a struggle, I don't like to ask people for handouts. I don't like to ask people to help me. I'm my own man and I need to make it work. I make it work for myself. So I always find a way, like, to do it no matter how hard it will be. So I was ashamed that I was homeless. It was an embarrassment to me because I was like, I had money, but I couldn't afford it because of my credit score. They wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me. I applied so many places and they were like, no, bad credit score, bad, bad credit score, bad credit score. And they just kept kicking me back. And I was like, it's literally ridiculous that I can't even find a place to live because I have a bad credit score. Like, and I wasn't going to the ghetto to go get housing. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't happening. So he left me crash on the couch for a while until I could finally get on my feet. And I was gonna save back money and just buy like a cheap house for like 50 grand, but it never happened like that because while I was doing that, my grandfather became terminally ill with cancer. He had colon cancer and stomach cancer. So I ended up coming back to Pennsylvania for that reason. And sure enough, like a year or two later, he was getting better. And then his brother passed away, which was my great uncle. I think that's what he'd be, great uncle. He ended up passing away, and he went downhill after that because he we think that maybe that like sped up his cancer because he was just depressed all the time because his brother passed away, and he never wanted to do anything. He just I don't know how to explain it, but he just went downhill after that and died shortly after Christmas.
Damn.
And now my grandmother lives with me and I help take care of her, and she doesn't have a driver's license or anything like that. My grandfather was there for her whole life and stuff like that. So I allowed her to move. This is the house that they were living in, and she moved down by my parents and she wanted to come back and I couldn't tell her no, you know. So I was like, yeah, absolutely come back. So I have to go help her with stuff and take her to doctor's appointments and go grocery shopping with her, all that stuff. So I help take care of my grandmother now because I promised my grandfather I would.
Good man.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. Solid principles.
That's probably a good thing while we're friends, because everyone sees us dicking around like on stream,
Mm-hmm.
but no one ever sees like this behind stuff. So I'm so glad we're doing the podcast and actually getting to know one another.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
About stuff like this.
Yeah.
That's
They
why-
always ask us. They always ask us, why aren't we playing Venge, and not how are you? You know.
Yeah.
And
that's
now,
how- that's
why
a
are you?
derivative,
Why are you?
Why?
Damn.
But yeah, that's why
Yeah.
you see her like come down the stairs here and like walk past me sometimes because she's like going outside to like smoke a cigarette because she smokes like hella a lot, chain smokes constantly.
He's like, we've had
the
this
old-
conversation
the old
12
way.
times. Yeah.
That's
Well, now
what's
that you
gonna-
have a, oh, what was that?
I said that's what's gonna probably end up being the bane of her is the smoking. She has like seriously bad COPD and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's just what happened to my grandfather like a few days ago. Which I
Mhm.
know we talked about in the group chat. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to hear.
But hey, everybody smoked back in the day. You know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
everybody-
It
That's
used,
just
it used to be
true.
considered like a healthy option.
Right.
It's
yeah.
crazy. I
There's
actually saw a
zero
thing
fraud.
that I saw a thing on TikTok where a doctor saying was it took 50 years for them to find out that smoking was actually bad for you. And vaping has only been around for 30 years. So we actually don't even know what's like entirely bad with vaping yet.
We
So
do. They do. Like, you know
crazy.
that company Juul?
yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's apparently they have like certain chemicals within Juul that literally give you black lung like after using it after like a year.
Carcinogens.
Oh yeah, I could see it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really bad. Apparently, there's a bunch of other chemicals. Like Juul is pretty much being banned out of counties now. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
if-
yeah.
Like it's almost statewide now.
Yeah. I heard that.
Like,
Here's
I-
my thing with
What's
with
that?
those kind of with that kind of vape too, because obviously I vape.
Yeah.
I only vape while I'm down here. I don't know why. It's just something I like. It's just something that I enjoy. It's not even
like
something
a-
I could stop if I wanted to, but it's just something that I enjoy. If that
It's
makes
like
sense.
smoking a
kinda like-
pipe in a library after you're reading a book.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's something
it's
that you
the
enjoy.
Just something you
Right,
do.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But
Yeah,
here's the
it's
thing.
the den. Like it's your den. It's like this is what you're going to do because no one
Oh
can tell
my
you.
God, he said it's
Yeah,
your
that's what it is.
den. I thought dude,
Yeah.
everyone was talking. I heard it's like sucking a dick, and I went, what? It's like what?
It's like
to
sucking
really
a
to
dick.
break this up, hey Mish, hit some fat
No,
circles for us.
it's charging
fair
right now.
enough.
It died.
Oh no!
Rip.
But like
We have to
everyone
outro
was
that way.
everyone
We
was
have to
talking, and
outro with
all
that.
I seen was Q's mouth saying something about a den. Like I heard something with D, and I just went, it's like sucking a dick. Is that what he said? Why did he say that?
Why would that come to your mind?
I don't know. I don't know. It
Was it
genuinely
because we
sounded
were
like
was it because we were talking about Gilbert Godfrey?
maybe,
True.
maybe.
But
Oh my
the
God.
vape, like I can personally say too, like the Juuls, I've bought them before and used them, and after about a week of using it, my lungs, like I started like coughing if I like would run or do something like that, and I'd cough up like this clear substance that's almost like a snot, but it's not like a
Yeah.
mucus,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
but it was like clear and sticky. It was weird. But like the stuff that I use here, like in this one, doesn't do that to me. I don't know why. I can actually do that. But like it actually Jules hindered my ability to breathe. It was bad.
Yeah, it's
But this
congealed
here-
mucus is what that is, because that's what happened to me. I had to throw my
This
shit
stuff
out.
here, I only get one specific flavor and one specific brand because it doesn't do that to me. And I'm like terrified to try anything else.
Back on the, I guess you as a content creator, Mish, where do you see yourself in the future, man? What's the future of Mish looking like?
I hate that question so much.
I really hope that it's good, but you can only hope for the best, you know?
I see. So you're just gonna ride it out, see where things take you.
Expect the worst, but hope for the best. That's what I'm
Sure.
Fair enough. Fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any goals lined up for yourself at the moment? Like for especially since 2021 just got here and 2020 is finally
Word.
over.
Yeah, my goal literally for at the moment and why I'm so excited for everything is literally not even for myself individually. It is to get everything with Lux moving with Repttars and all of us, just to get everything on the line,
Yep.
to get push out all this stuff so that we could actually grow not individually but together. Because unified, it's so much better than something singularly. Like, great. So yeah, who cares? Rep might pull like 200 people one day while I'm pulling like 60, but in a combined total, what could we accomplish together amounts to more than what just I could accomplish for myself. And what could we also provide to other people that are coming to hang out within the community and hang out with Team Lux and everything like that? Like, what could we give for them? How could we help our viewer base and our members? You know what I'm saying?
I've always thought
Clip
like a yep, clip it. I've always
Clip
thought
it, post it on Twitter and Instagram.
a group, put that on the Lux Instagram. Yeah, do that.
Mhm.
I've always thought a group is just better because not only does it help you like bear the burden of like you know you're hanging out with people that do what you do. Like they understand the pressures that come with streaming, like the burnout and the hours that you're putting in, the amount of work that you're putting in. Like if anything's going wrong in your work schedule, the first people to point it out will be people that do what you do. Like they get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And
it's so much
especially
easier.
like, and that's why too I like this group too, because if we are literally doing something that we're like, hey, this is wrong, I know not a single one of you are going to be like, oh yeah, Mish, that's great, keep doing that. Like
Oh
that's
yeah.
what a fake friend would do. That's what
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fake friend would do. You'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd just be like, yo, look, you're jacking up, like you need to change that shit up, it looks terrible, or
We don't
something
have any
like that.
yes men. We don't have any yes
Oh yeah,
men
we
in-
don't.
in
Not
our-
a not
in
a
our
one.
group.
Not a one.
And that's why I ask Rep for like, and ask you guys about stuff that I create. Like, hey, does this look good? Hey, does this look good? Does this look good? Does this look good? Because I don't want it to look good to just me. I want it to be aesthetically appeasing for across the board. I mean, granted, you're not gonna please everybody, but there's a portion. If most of the people agree to it, most of
Right.
the people are gonna like it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
if
So,
it's 75-25, it's you're doing something
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Because not
No, it's
everybody's
just-
gonna be like, oh, well, I don't like those colors. Well, okay, well, most of the people do, so sorry about your luck, pal. Like,
Right.
what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Like, certain things work. I just don't want. You're never gonna please everybody, and that's the number one thing people need to realize at first being a streamer too, is that you can't please every single person. It's just impossible. It's just not gonna happen. It's unrealistic.
I learned that the hard way.
Yep, same.
Like
Mm.
I had going back to when I first started streaming back in January 2018. I got to know like a huge group from Archix Entertainment, which if you guys don't know is people that make and develop the games Venture Quest. If you guys ever
Mhm.
played a game on like the Flash system, but you ever got into like RPG games, they were the company to do it. And I got big on their community on AQ3D, and 90% of the community loved me, but there was like just some people who hated me because I was growing. Because I was averaging like 150 people on that, just on that game, like just by streaming. But
Crazy.
yeah, never got partnered. I'm so sad about that. But that 10% always got to me because I would always try to do things to please them, which diminished my viewership with that game over time and like just screwed me in the long run. It got so bad that I took a 7-month break from streaming and focused on YouTube instead.
Mm.
And I just felt like I just couldn't do it. But now that I'm back, obviously I don't give a shit about that 10%.
My problem is with that. I like streaming on Twitch because it's thoroughly what I enjoy. So I will try to stream as much as possible that I can on Twitch. The thing is I would do YouTube, but my editing skills are not on par with everybody else's. Like, there's no way
Yep.
I can put out the content that everybody else puts at that level, because everything that I would put out would be subpar compared to being par or above average.
That's exactly
I'm
my
the exact same way.
Yep,
Yeah.
same.
100%.
Hey guys, I'm an editor. If you guys need somebody to edit a video,
Yeah, I know.
let me know.
I'd rather. I see.
I've
It's
been
one of those
editing
things
for
where
2 years.
it's one of those things where like I want to like I want to have you do it. I want to grow as a creator myself. So like if anything, I want you to show me your process of how you would edit.
Yeah, I want to learn from you rather than have you do it for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, that's what I like doing.
Because I
Teaching
can find like
people
my
who-
own
yeah.
style too. Like what software do you use, for instance?
You name it. I pretty much use everything.
Okay.
But
Well, that I can name
if you
anything,
guys if you guys are like just learning how to edit, I'll suggest getting Filmora 10. It's like I think you can spend $70 and you get the full thing
I
like, for
think
the
I've
rest of your
Sony
life.
I have Sony Vegas, and I'm trash
Vegas.
at it.
Vegas is a little bit more complicated. I think you guys might need something more simplistic.
I have Premiere Pro, and I have not a clue how to do anything, dude.
Premiere Pro is
Premiere
what I
Pro's
definitely
fun.
want to get to.
Dude, I should have muted like my whole entire Discord. Like it's blowing up right now. Like Discord is just blowing up. People are like, "Hey, can we be friends?"
Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
every
I can hear
time.
the notifications.
Yeah, every single time I get a Discord notification, and it's like, "Hey, can we play Venge? Can we? I get a missed call. I just mute the conversation. I'm just like, all right, go at it."
Hey, Mish,
Mish, do you
put your
play
profile on Do Not Disturb, and you will have those things muted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But Mish, do you play with a fingertip grip? What the hell?
What?
You play with a fingertip grip, that mouse grip. What the heck?
No,
What?
it's all over. His palm is.
Okay.
He has small hands.
I have small hands too.
Yeah, so his
What kind of mouse is that actually? Is that the
It's
Glorious?
the same one you're rocking right now.
Gotcha. It's just modded, or not modded. It's just different lighting. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm over here with a Razer, like what is
Same.
it? Razer Death Adder.
Yep, same.
Death
Razer
Adder?
Death Adder
Yeah.
Elite. Death Adder Elite.
I
Yeah,
love this mouse.
same. I love
need,
it, dude.
I need to get a Cooler Master mouse
You
though.
want to see the worst mouse I ever bought in my life? It's gonna be
710.
Yoink it.
The Cooler Master MM710. That's probably the best one they make.
In
Wait, I
I've
swear, if he
always
pulls
been-
out the bloody mouse, does he get the bloody mouse out?
I think so.
There you go. Worst
What is it?
mouse I ever bought in my entire life.
Is it the bloody mouse?
Can you guess what this is?
Oh, is that the basilisk or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the basilisk.
Those things are garbage.
They look like shit.
I hate,
Didn't you
Those
razor,
are
own
uncomfortable too.
I hate
Or no?
razor mice in general. They're just weird shaped for my hand, and I can't deal with it. I just can't do it.
Apparently, the new Vipers are like
Yeah, they're good.
Top of the line. Yeah, top of the line. That's what I heard.
They're actually competing with Corsair mice now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually ridiculous because that's what my old mouse used to be. But this mouse was $25 on Amazon. I was like, I'm gonna spend $25 instead my mouse just broke.
I never thought of Corsair as one of the top brands for mice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're up
Figured,
there.
well, Final Mouse, even though they're hard to get.
Yeah.
Razer
buddy-
has been up there recently, but even like Zowie has been top of the game for a while.
I kind of.
Mine was my favorite mouse of all time. The
What's
Steel
up?
Series Rival Series, like that,
Yes.
that series of mice was my favorite across the board. It fit my hand to a perfect T.
I am the exact same way. I have the Rival 600 somewhere right here.
I'm like that with the Logitech mice.
I need to
Well,
get.
that's why I want to get the G Wolves because it's the exact same shape as the G Pro Wireless. It's a smaller shape, which apparently small mice are making a huge like breakthrough right now. Apparently, they're like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it's lighter. There's no reason for me not to get it.
That's the thing. I don't like light mice. I like heavy mice.
Really?
Not me.
Yeah.
I like lighter. The lighter, the better.
See, I used to be the same way. I used to have a mouse that was like 120 grams, and that thing had a nice LED on the side. It was the first like really gaming mouse that I had, and I loved that thing to death. But then I got lighter, and then I got even lighter, and then I tried to switch back to the old mouse. I'm like, this is terrible. Why would I ever use this? So now I have this glorious Model O, and I have it on a speed pad, and this thing is like butter. This thing zooms across.
I
No,
have the
ever.
glorious XL, the thick pad.
I need
yeah,
I need some weight to a mouse. I don't know. I feel like I can't use Final Mouse because my hands are just slip and slide all over. Like I don't know. I like some weight to it.
well, that's
Like,
why
I don't
also
use a mouse pad. Like
I
I
also
don't use
bought
a mouse. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I do.
mouse pads. What do you use?
I use my desk. I use my desk as my mouse pad. That's why I like
Shut the
weight
hell
because it doesn't. Yeah. Yeah. Here,
What the fuck?
here, let me add some light.
haven't done that since like 2005.
Yeah. Since I played CS Condition Zero.
Yeah, you can even see the mark I made.
Do you know how inaccurate your laser is on the top of your desk like that?
It's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah, but you know how much better it could be. You know how much you could probably be a
I
god.
know. I used to use a mouse pad. I used to use a mouse pad. I didn't like it. It felt too sluggish.
Buy speed pad.
Oh, I had the
What?
flat one. I had the flat Razer one.
Or buy one of these.
That's
bad
what I
boys,
have.
right?
That's what I have. I have a Razer
one?
Gigantimum. No, this motherfucker is massive.
Sheet aluminum right now.
Sheet
if
of
I do get
aluminum.
a,
Oh my god!
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the death of Mishmash KOD, and which ends the podcast.
That is how he dies.
That is how he dies, ladies and gentlemen.
Falls over and
My
cracks
Straight
his
up
neck.
brushed
What?
aluminum.
yeah, I have one of those, but it's from Razer. I don't have like the thicker ones. It's just I used it for a while,
Sluggish.
but it just felt too smooth for me, and I
Oh
didn't
my-
like it.
Oh, if
I
it's
brought
too
this to
smooth,
the
you just
LAN
get.
one time,
Mhm.
and I could literally just like kill somebody with this pad. If they
Well, I'm not
wanted
trying to kill anybody with it.
Yeah,
I know,
like
but it's
See,
seconds
my-
as a weapon. If somebody's trying to front you, if you're in a 1v1 and you beat them and they come up
oh,
and they're like,
1v1.
and then
Hey, man.
you just
Just go to a lane tournament and
Is-
say, "Bitch, you killed me. I don't care if you're like 12."
See,
Ugh.
my thing is, I want one of those mouse, like those aluminum mouse pads, but like, I got so used to gigantic things that like I want like a one that covers like almost my entire desk.
Hey, I have an idea. Next time we're like near each other, like maybe in the near future, we could go to because I have a woodshop place that also works with metal. We could probably get like if you get the measurements for your desk, we can probably build a cover. Because that's what I plan on doing with this one.
It's pretty cool.
that would be
yeah.
really nice actually, because I
Yeah,
would actually get a
goddamn.
custom aluminum mouse pad because I love it. The only thing is that was the biggest size brush like
And anything more is super expensive. Like you're paying like $200+ for like something that's like not even half the size of my desk. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And
I wonder what
a-
kind
a-
of protective coats they put.
I was
on
about
top
to
of
say,
the,
'cause
like,
I
aluminum.
can ask a buddy of mine owns it. Like he runs it because he also
Yeah.
does. Like he also helps run local tournaments. He also builds stuff for cars because we have a local car collector here who has like the original Batmobile and stuff like that.
Oh shit!
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he does stuff like
Is
that
he
all the
single?
time.
I was about to say, Jesus Christ.
You're about to say?
I was about to say, Rep does the
But-
same things, kind of. He does woodworking and like he could work with metals and stuff. So, I mean, for the Canada Blaze, Rep might be able to do it.
My knees hurt.
Yeah. I've never made one
He's
before.
vomiting on a sweater already. Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti,
Rest in peace, Mom spaghetti.
all the spaghetti. But yeah, no, like he
Mom
said that he
spaghetti.
can laser etch like a logo in without like he just by discoloring it. You don't actually have an indentation.
Right,
But he can
yeah.
make it look like you have one.
Make it look like it's indented, but it's not actually.
Yeah, because my
Damn,
brother
yeah, you
had
could
a
shade it
Google
with the
made for my
black.
dad, yeah.
You have to shade it with black. That's sick.
Oh, shit,
That
it's
looks
almost
cool.
1 o'clock in the morning here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
alright.
recording for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yep, I've been going for
That's good.
near
We got
this.
a lot of content here.
Yeah, the podcast is nearly 2 hours long. Like I'm at the 2 hour 17 mark, but I think we only started at the 25-minute mark, so we should be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is it for the first episode. And we might have to split it down into two. We'll have to see how it goes because I know there's one part that has to be mature content, so it's gonna be interesting.
Mhm.
But yeah, that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in whenever we're doing the next one, hopefully with the same group.
I want to get Repttars
Yeah,
in here for one
Don't
of these.
forget
Yeah,
Twitch TV, Mishmash_KOD.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure
I'll have
all
all
the
of our
stuff will be in
all
the
of our stuff in
description,
the
yeah.
description. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mishmash
I'll
obviously
see
has
it.
to be on top.
Yeah, I mean, who's ever it is
I'm
gets
always a top.
top.
I'm never a
win.
bottom, dude.
Oh, you were a bottom when you got peed on.
On that.
I see you guys next
that's it.
week.
That's it. That's it.
Bye.
That's
Yep.
the end of the podcast.
On that note, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.